Hello everyone, FPL Willem here. In this video I will talk about the upcoming Game Week 5 fixtures, some early thoughts about them, because it's only like, it's next Tuesday, the deadline is, but I'll have some early thoughts about it and I want to share it with you guys. I will talk about some injury news for the most important teams, so don't expect any injury news about Salzburg or about Shakhtar, as most of you guys will not have any players from them. I will talk about teams to focus on in the upcoming games if you are going to transfer, which I expect not really a reason not to transfer. Everyone probably has a few issues in their team. And I will showcase my early transfer plans, which will most likely will be changed before the deadline, as the weekend is coming and games will be played. But yeah, those things I will show in the video. I would like to thank you guys just from the start of for the support so far. I've hit on 100 subs. I didn't even know I could reach it before the end of the year. Didn't even know I could reach it before the end of the season. Yeah, thanks for the support. Hope we can push it to 150 subs. Like the video. Maybe that gives me a bit more recognition. But for now, let's start off with some injury news. Now, as I've said, I will start off with some injury news. I won't talk about the easier team, or the lesser teams with Stuttgart, Shakhtar, as I've said before a few seconds ago probably. I wanted to start off with Dortmund. And with Dortmund, the goalkeeper Kobel is, well, fit again. He played for Switzerland a 1-1 versus Serbia. I think it was Serbia. He got some decent saves there. If he is main goalkeeper, yeah, that has to be seen, because Meyer played some decent games. He got a clean sheet against, I think it was Dinamo Zagreb, or are they playing against Dinamo Zagreb? Well, with the last game, it was Stoengras, he got a clean sheet. Yeah, I don't think he got any shots on him, but he got a clean sheet. In the league, he got some decent results as well. He won against Leipzig. They were unbeaten and they won 2-1. So if Kobel is certain of his spots, I don't know that, but if you have him in your team, I think it's a haul. Now, next up is Nicolas Soule. He is injured until early December, as you can see on your screen. That means players like Can and Slotterbeck are more certain of their spots as they play centre-back. I thought Can at the start of the season was more of a controlling midfielder at the back, but yeah, he's got put in the centre-back position. After early December, it might be a bit wobbly which player will start in the centre-back role. So yeah, I don't know who is going to play. They're not doing all too well, so they are quite kind of switching up in the league. But I think, yeah, Can and Slotterbeck are quite certain of their spots in the upcoming game. Do have to say, Anton is also fit again. Didn't put him in. Don't know why I didn't put him in, but I didn't put him in. He is also fit again, so that could be yeah, a centre-back spot taken as well. I have Can in my team, and I don't know if he is all too certain, especially because they play on a Wednesday. But yeah. Last year is Adeyemi. Is rumored to be out for a few days, but there was a hamstring injury, so as it says a few days, could be next week that he is fit, but couldn't be as well. Often with these types of injuries, I think all you guys know with hamstring injuries, those ACL injuries, they will be a bit safer with giving him some minutes. So if he is going to start, I don't expect him to make, well, let's say at least 90 minutes, but I think he will be well, switched out with Gittens. I have Gittens in my team, so there's another player I have in my team who has a threat in another player in that Dortmund team. But that means if you have Gittens, as I do, you can expect some minutes less from Gittens there as well. So yeah, basically, as you guys can see, it's not only important for the players themselves to return. So as you can see with Nicolas Soule, it means more, and Adeyemi, it means more for the players you already have, like Can or Slotterbeck or Gittens. If they returns, or these players return, then it could be mean a benching for you. And especially with Dortmund to play on the Wednesday, it would be, yeah, it sucks if you put them in, especially because they play the 9 PM game. You can't see early lineups. Yeah, it would suck if you have them in your team, on your bench, you put them in and they don't play. With Gittens, you can expect them to at least make a few minutes maybe later on in the game from the bench. But yeah, if Can doesn't play or Slotterbeck doesn't play, don't know how that is gonna, yeah, going to work out for you. But I expect, in my personal opinion, Can, Slotterbeck and Gittens to all three start in the starting lineup. So yeah, that was it for Borussia Dortmund. Let's move on to Liverpool. So as I said, Liverpool. Don't think you guys have many assets from Liverpool. I think they had a few difficult fixtures before this game. They will have a difficult fixture against Real Madrid next Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. But yes, let's start off with Trent. He got a hamstring injury in the league game against Aston Villa. Return date is unknown, but you can expect him to be out for the upcoming game. I personally think, but it's a personal opinion, he will be out for at least the end of the year. There are rumors, some rumblings, that it isn't a season-long one, but yeah, that's a bit of a stretch as the season is like until, isn't it until March? No, it's probably further ahead, I think until June, I guess. But yeah, that it isn't a season-long one, let's say it like that, and it could be lesser, but those are just rumors. I've seen the game myself, and it was an injury without someone touching him, and those are the most awful injuries you could get. Got my immediate sympathy on that. But that means one door closed means another door open, and that means a player like Conor Bradley could be a great asset to replace him. Only 4.3 million. He already did great for replacing him in some games in the league, and I expect him for 4.3 million to put him in my team. But the thing is, in my team, I will limitless next week, but they play against Real Madrid this week, so don't put Conor Bradley in. After it's a great option, but for now, if you have Trent, maybe someone like Theo Hernandez is a great option to put in your team if you haven't him already. Next to him is Alisson. Went out with an injury, and I swear to God, there aren't a lot of goalkeepers who get injured, but Alisson is one of, yeah, Mr. Becker here in front of you is surely one. I don't think many of them many of you guys have Alisson in your team. They play against Real Madrid as well, so if you have him, you could keep him if you have a decent second goalkeeper where you expect a clean sheet. I don't think many of you guys pay 6 million for a goalkeeper. He returns late November. I think he is gonna miss next game, the upcoming game, but he plays after it. That's what I expect. Maybe even he won't get minutes in Champions League as he's getting injured as much as he is getting injured. So maybe the second goalkeeper will get some more minutes in the Champions League. Just transfer him out if you just don't want to get a headache with this guy. And next to him is Shota. Now I've put Shota in because, well, it would look better with 3 on my sheet, but I don't think anyone has Shota, and he is a midfielder. He's in a striker position. Now that's a great, but he has players like Nunez, Gakpo, and Diaz who can replace him. So even if he is fit, he will be replaced around the 70th minute, and I always like 90-minute players. Even if they have less returns, I think there are more possibilities to score or get some ball recovery returns. He isn't expected to play in a Champions League game, and I don't expect him to play the game after that as well. Just if you have Shota, or if you're thinking about Shota, sell him or don't even touch him. That's basically my advice. For now, that was Liverpool. Let's move on to Barcelona. Now, for Barcelona, it is a bit of a, well, it may be a bit of a headache team. Just to give a bit of an explanation, there are a few players that have been called out just before the international game for injuries. There have been, for example, 8 for the England team, and this is mostly because I think they aren't injured, but it's basically because of fatigue reasons. It's the end of the Nations League. I feel like the Nations League isn't really, it's basically a glorified friendly game, just given a meaning instead of some friendly matches. Players already play around on the level of these guys, play around 60 games minimum, I think minimum, around that kind of amount of games in a year. So missing a few friendly games against, I don't know even who, I think they played against Denmark or Switzerland or something, where they already qualified. I think that's basically the reason for some of these players that didn't go with their team. So this goes as well for a player like Lewandowski and Yamal. Lewandowski has apparently a back injury, probably from old age, I was thinking. But of course I hope that he recovers quickly. I think he will play in the Champions League next game. But I think he was just avoiding playing for his country because of, well, basically, as I said, fatigue. Same goes for Yamal. He has an ankle injury. I also think he will play in the Champions League. Rafinha did go with his team. Probably in Brazil, maybe something else. But Yamal is still a great pick. He's getting a bit overwhelmed with the Rafinha point scoring, and Yamal isn't doing anything so far. But I think he still has a lot of potential there. As I've said, I think it says late November, as I've just picked them from a reliable source, but I think he will play. So does Lewandowski. Now for the last one, I think nobody has. I would expect nobody has Araujo in his team, and might think why would I put him in here as no one has him? But the reasoning behind it is if you own Kubarsi or even think about owning Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez. Martinez did great. He scored a goal, got man of the match, and even before that he scored a goal. But they could be possibly replaced by him or even get lesser minutes. And that's basically why I put him in. I myself think that he won't play in the coming Champions League game, basically because he's been out for quite a while. But after that it could be tricky. Once again, I think it was with Can and Slotterbeck there as well. I think it's important with these players that you just watch the upcoming games. Same goes for earlier teams. Just watch the upcoming games, keep an eye on that. If you guys play, you know they're fit. If they don't, they could be on the bench just getting a rest for the Champions League game. Some of them need a bit more focus as they have a bit of more difficult fixtures, or like Liverpool already have 12 points, so maybe they won't focus on Champions League as much as on the league as they're doing now. But yeah, just keep a close eye on the upcoming weeks. I expect, as I said, Lewandowski and Yamal to play, and Araujo. I don't expect them to play, but if you own Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez, yeah, it will be a bit more spicy. Let's say it like that, spicy in your upcoming games after it. Yeah. So there weren't really any big, well, for one team, I guess, any significant injuries or suspensions, as you have seen with Dortmund, Liverpool and Barcelona. But there are a few players like Zappacosta, Ben White and Hakan Çalhanoğlu who are, or maybe doubtful, as you can see with some of these, who can have an impact on your team, not only because they're not playing, but that means another player will play instead of them and you could get some minutes out of that player. But to start off with Zappacosta, he is injured till late November. Now, I've said late November, or it's been in the past few slides there as well, and I think late November you can say it differs per player. I think a player like Zappacosta, I haven't had that many sources so far, so it's basically keeping an eye if he plays the next game. But like Araujo, he is in training in the last slide, but he was out for a long time with a hamstring injury, so you just have to fill it in yourself a bit there. Zappacosta was out with a calf injury. Expected to be back late November. Just keep an eye on him in the weekend or on the weekend if he plays. If he doesn't, still be a bit tricky. Still expect him to play. But yeah, I don't think there's any good replacement in an Atalanta team. Maybe Kolasinac, the old Arsenal player. But still there. Yeah, just keep an eye on him in the weekend. Maybe there are some sources after it before the deadline to know if he plays. Next to him is Ben White. Injured with a knee injury, and he is expected to be back late January. Now, late January is the end of the league phase in the Champions League, so that could mean he will miss out, he could miss out on all the league phase, as I've said before. Timber is a great option to replace him. Might be a bit tricky. Calafiori is getting back as well, so once again keep an eye on that as well. It's basically keep an eye on it every weekend. But as he is out, Timber could have some minutes. But yeah, Calafiori is often getting subbed in for Timber, but it's mostly around the 70th minute. And if Arsenal keep a clean sheet until the 70th minute, at least you have a clean sheet in your pocket there. And last one is the penalty taker from Inter, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I fully expect him to be back in the Champions League, but he is out with a hip injury. It is doubtful, as it says. As I'm thinking about it now, could be a case of avoiding international games once again. I think Turkey was promoted already. So could be something there as well, as he didn't want to play in any international games. But I expect him to be playing, in the next upcoming, fixture in the Champions League. Popular players I didn't call out should be fine. There could be some obscure players I didn't talk about because not a lot of people own him, but that would make the video probably double it if I would talk about them. I think I could put in the description a link to all the players who are injured. Maybe that will be handy. But I think these are the most important players that are injured or suspended. And for now, let's focus on the targets. You could replace these guys if you want to replace these guys, or other players who have great fixtures in the upcoming games. Now for the targets, this slide will be talked about more in the wildcard video. I just wanted to say that firstly. This will be talked about later this week. I think it will be around Sunday. I will upload my wildcard team, or maybe Saturday, depends on how much time I have left in the week. These are the targets you want to focus on. If you're going to transfer one of the guys out, or if you're even going to transfer anyone out, I think it's important to focus on teams like Milan, Barcelona, or PSV. I think it will be essential to focus on Milan players on top. They play against Bratislava away, Red Star at home, Girona at home, and Zagreb away. Now, if those aren't fixtures you like, then I don't know which fixtures you will like. Most probably, you own one, or you don't even one of them. You have or Hernandez in your team, or you have Pulisic in your team. I don't think many of you guys have them both. If you have, well, then you're set up for the week already. You could even go with a third player from them. But most likely you don't have more than one, and I think it's time to stockpile on them. It could be a great option to go for PSV or Barcelona as well. I think it's a bit more difficult with Barcelona getting Dortmund away, and the positive thing with Milan is as well they aren't qualified, and they will probably not be qualified until the last game, so they will play their best squad for every team or for every fixture. So yeah, I think it's important to focus on Milan games. Yeah, let's move on to my potential transfers for my team. Now, I just wanted to quickly talk about the transfers I'm looking to make as it stands now. And with quickly talking about my transfer, I will probably be rambling about every player in my team, potential transferring, having some ideas. But I did write down a few of my transfers, so let's just go on with that first. And starting off, it will be Hakimi who will be taking out. Yeah, just if you look at the matches they played, they barely won against Girona. They lost. Well, I don't think they had any shot on goal against Arsenal. PSV, they played 1-1, a bit of a lucky 1-1 even, because PSV was better in my opinion, and they lost against the weakened Atletico Madrid. Now, Bayern München, they play against Salzburg, they play against Manchester City and Stuttgart. Now, two of those games are awful, and the other two are, they're great, but with the form PSG is in right now, I don't expect him to keep a clean sheet. And with Hakimi, if he gets an attacking return, yay. But I don't expect him to get a clean sheet. So you wanna get some double up with that, with a clean sheet and a attacking return. And the perfect player for having some attacking returns with great fixtures to get a clean sheet as well is Theo Hernandez. I've talked about him before. Has a difficult run so far. They played against Liverpool, Leverkusen. Brugge isn't that difficult, and Real Madrid, which is difficult as well. Slovan Bratislava, Red Star, Girona, and Dinamo Zagreb. Now those are just great fixtures. It would have been better if they were all at home, but yeah, no one has a game so far all at home. But Slovan, I expect a clean sheet against Bratislava. I expect a clean sheet against all of them actually. And with the ball recoveries he can have, as he did against Club Brugge with 11 ball recoveries. Maybe some attacking returns. I think there's a 10-pointer in there. Yeah, that's basically Hakimi to Hernandez. And my second transfer is basically, it's a sideways move I'm thinking about now. But it's basically Yamal, who hasn't been scoring all too great. He isn't even that awful of a pick. But I just think his fellow teammate in Rafinha is a better pick than he is so far. And the stats are showing. One slight problem with him is that he only got 58 minutes against Red Star as the game was done. So if the game's done early, expect an early sub from him. But as you can see, he plays great against lesser teams. He plays great against, Bayern München, which is one of the top teams in the league. So if you miss out on him, I think, and I know everyone has him, but doesn't mean I shouldn't have him. So I can at least join you guys with his points as well there. There is also an option. As I've said before, I have Gittens in my team. And it is a bit difficult with Adeyemi coming back. That means Gittens' minutes will be decreased. And with the budget I get, if imagine I won't put out Yamal, because Yamal has the same potential as Rafinha, just Rafinha is showing it off right now. So, but if I take out Gittens, that means I have 6.6 in the bank, and if I will filter it out, if my PC starts working with the midfielders, 6.6. The best players are Reinders, Gittens, and Koen. I don't think a Feyenoord player against Manchester City or Benfica player against Monaco away is a great option, but Reinders has shown great things. I rather have Pulisic in my team, but yeah, you can have them all. And I don't even think Koen is that bad of an option. Celtic has some great games there as well. I'm a bit rambling now, this is all off script, but as you guys can see, 3 of the 4 games are great. Brugge at home, the Zagreb away, and Young Boys at home. The thing is, I don't know if Celtic is just good enough to win against these 3, and I think Milan is I think Milan, if Milan have these fixtures, I expect them to win the 3 games. I don't know if Celtic is gonna win these 3 games, and if they are gonna score, is Koen gonna be it, but could be a great enabler, as he's only 4.5 million. If I put him in, that means if I take in Koen, then I could take out a player like Jamal in the later games, and I have 9.6 million. Could put in, I don't know how much Salah is, but there is an option to put in Salah if I take out Foden. How much is Salah? 10.1. As Liverpool has a better fixture run. Do gotta say, I know it's off script, but if you put in Salah, they are top of the league in the Champions League, and if they are top of the league in game week 7, expect him to be benched a few more times, as maybe he will get rested some minutes. He is on, I think he's like around 30, can you see it here? No, not really, but yeah, he's 30 plus, so expect him to be out then. But there's also an option with, you had to see Reinders. I'm glad I spelled his name out in one go. Got 3 pointers there. I gotta be honest, I don't expect him to have massive returns. I don't expect him to have massive returns, but I expect him to keep a clean sheet. So that's basically 1 point. If he gets around 6 ball recoveries, that's 2 points. That's 5 points. That's decent for a 5.6 player. And if you get an assist or a goal even, you get around 9 points. And I think for 5.6 million, it is worth it. Which day do they play? They play on the Tuesday. Only 18:45 kickoff. That is the time stamp in the Netherlands. It will be 17:45 in England. Still a great pick. So I'm just in some minds thinking about other options. I think there's even an option if I go with if I really want Pulisic in my team, I could go with Timber from Arsenal. As Ben White is injured, you can expect some minutes there, but Timber has Sporting away, Monaco at home. Those are after Sporting great games, but Gyökeres is just hammering goals against every team, and Arsenal isn't as certain to keep a clean sheet anymore as they were last season. But Monaco at home and Dinamo Zagreb at home are great fixtures, so you can expect some returns there. They play every game at 9, so not sure if they will, if he will play every game, and you can't transfer him out or sub him out after 9, or it is on a Tuesday. But I think the 22nd is on a Wednesday, and the 11th is on the Wednesday as well, so a bit difficult if you will pick him. But if I put in Timber, I could afford Pulisic for 7.5. Just lots of things to talk about. I don't really want to ramble that much on about. As I said, there are multiple ways I could go, but I expect some injuries that will happen or can happen. Maybe if I'm lucky I don't have any injuries. Then just all of this, which I've just talked about, will go out the window, and I have to talk about, probably on the Monday, which transfer I'm gonna make with the injuries I have. For now, these are my options I am looking at and thinking about making. This is just a week before the real deadline is there. So hope you guys find it a bit more informative. We're starting to ramble on, but as I said, hope you guys have some ideas for your own team to put some players in there. So for now, these were my first thoughts for the games next week. It is the Tuesday before the deadline, so it's still a week away from now. So just keep a close eye on every player you own in the weekend and hope they don't get injured. Even keep a close eye on the players like Hernandez you might will be owning on the next deadline day if they get injured. Don't make any early transfers. I recommend them making them on the Tuesday, like an hour or 2 hours before the deadline. Best will be an hour before the deadline, so you could see the early kickoff lineups. For now, I would like to thank you guys for watching and hope you guys enjoyed it. Love making this type of content, but it does take a lot of time out of me after work, making these videos, working it out, getting all the injury news. I'm typing a bit of it out as English isn't my native language. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thumbs up, press that sub button if you haven't already. I'm hoping to close in on 150 subs before the end of the season. I said 100 subs before the end of the season, but you guys are quick. I didn't expect it to have it before November. For now, I hope you guys have a good one. I see you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.